Hey, I'm catiewahwah and you're watching The Record Review. Hey guys, I'm testing out a new kind of video, I guess. I'm still going to be doing the reviews, but I wanted to try something a bit different. This video is going to be all about some records that are coming out next month and that I am really excited about, or like that I'm really highly anticipating and that you should be excited about too. I'm gonna say why you might want to check them out when they come out next month. So here they are. First up, Trouble in Paradise from Roux. Can you believe that it's been 5 years since their debut album? Like, that's a long time. I remember hearing Bulletproof everywhere, and I still hear it everywhere, but they have a new album coming out. Their single, Let Me Down Gently, is still synth pop, but it feels a bit more hypnotic and subdued, so I'm interested to see if their style has matured more over time. Next up, 1000 Forms of Fear from Sia. This is another album that took a while to get made. It's been 4 years since We Are Born, but there is a reason for that. Apparently Sia became very uncomfortable with the sudden fame that she had from We Are Born because that record really got big fast, and so she became really unhappy with the concept of fame and promotion and didn't want to do any promo appearances. She went through a pretty dark time from the sounds of it. But the good news is that she's back with a really great album. The singles so far, Chandelier and Eye of the Needle, classic Sia, but like more updated. You can really feel the influence of people that she's been working with, like David Guetta. But it's interesting that her contract on 1000 Forms of Fear expressly stipulates that she doesn't have to do any promotional appearances or interviews or performances. She's actually been doing this really cool thing where she says that her trademark is now the blonde bob, so she's been putting blonde bobs on different people and having them do various performances instead of her actually performing, and it feels like a very cool way of getting around her discomfort with being in the public eye. And personally, I am all for that. If that is what we need to do to get Sia to continue to be the amazing artist that she is and to still have her contributing to music, then like I am all for her being as reclusive as she wants. Like she can just go off and do what she wants and send out music when she's ready. Like that's cool with me because these singles are really good and I'm really excited for 1000 Forms of Fear. Next is the 10th solo album from Morrissey, World Peace is None of Your Business.
Because we all want the ball to survive.
I think that this album is going to be just classic Morrissey. Everything he does is amazing, so I'm really excited for it. There have been a couple of singles released already, but I'm most excited about one of the unofficial single releases, which is called The Bullfighter Dies. It's like classic vegetarian Morrissey, in that it's all about cheering on the death of a bullfighter because we all actually want the bull to live. I think there's like a really cool bit of social commentary in there as well. I'm a huge Smiths fan and I will mourn them always, but pretty much the only thing that gets me through is Morrissey being pretty wonderful on his own anyway. With Morrissey, I always just love listening to the lyrics because there are so many intricacies and references in them. I always feel like I've just read a really intelligent book after listening to one of his albums, so that's exciting as well. And I think it's coming out at a really interesting time because this summer is one when a lot of people have been predicting riots because it's really hot and there are a lot of economic problems going on, so it'd be interesting to have Morrissey's album coming out like right in the midst of that. Next up is everybody's favorite sexist, Robin Thicke. His new album Paula is coming out next month and I'm actually really excited for it. Why, you may ask? You may know that Robin Thicke recently separated from his wife Paula Patton, and this entire album is named after her and every single track is like an attempt to win her back. The single that's been released so far, Get Her Back, is exactly what I'm expecting for the album. It's a really lazy and derivative attempt at R&B with like weird lyrics. So why am I excited about it? Why is it going on the list? I have to admit that there's a certain amount of pleasure to be had from hearing the man who spent the entire last summer objectifying women, to hear him making an entire album groveling to one woman. It kind of feels like karma. Next up is Celestite from Wolves in the Throne Room. I'll admit that one of the reasons that I was drawn to this band when I saw them on the list of releases was because I am a huge fan of Game of Thrones, but then I actually started listening to their music and they are black metal but they're not what I thought black metal was. Their lead single from the album, Celestite Mirror, is a very long, beautiful, sort of epic landscape of a track. It feels very poetic and very romantic even. Like, I didn't know that that's what black metal was, but as I was listening to more of their stuff, I thought this is really cool. Their music is almost trancey. There's a lot of synths and the tracks are very long, and there's a lot of different music going in there, sort of seamlessly weaving into it to create these landscapes. So I'm really excited to hear the whole album when that comes out. Next is Careers from Beverly. Oh, honey, Beverly are Frankie Rose and Roux. Frankie Rose was actually one of the founding members of Dum Dum Girls, and Beverly's music is that kind of early 90s, slightly riot girl, grunge tinged music. Rose and Citron are two very cool women, and I think part of me has this on the list just because I kind of want to be them. Now if you like more of a chilled out sound, kind of Bon Iver, James Blake, then you might really like this new band Cloudboat. My friend, you're struggling. The album Model of You has that same really emotive style set with drum machines and heavy bass lines. They were actually handpicked by James Blake to support him on tour, so he's definitely a fan of them. And if you listen to their single Carmine, it's pretty clear that these guys are going to be big. This next release is from a band that NME called the UK's most mysterious band. Jungle became very famous for their shorts on Vimeo, which went viral. They're made up of a core duo who go only by the names T and J, and then I think they expand to about 7 people live, but like no one knows who they are and they won't give their names. When I was listening to some of their singles like Time and Platoon, they have this really great sound. They're kind of like modern soul. You know, they have those great beats that are uplifting, but there's also something heavier and more serious to them. They also use a lot of these very uplifting vocal harmonies. They're kind of like a modern Bee Gees, but if you can take away the stigma that Bee Gees have been parodied so much and like cut right back to the original Bee Gees high quality music, that's kind of what Jungle are like. They're also very experimental, but they're also very enigmatic, so T and J, whoever you are, I'm excited for Jungle. Next is an album that should be here on its title alone. I Love You But I Must Drive Off This Cliff Now from Got a Girl. Got a Girl is a new duo. It's a partnership between the actress Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who you may know from Scott Pilgrim. She's one of my favorite actresses actually. So it's Winstead partnered with Dan the Automator. He's a really influential hip-hop producer who has worked with pretty much everyone you've ever loved. And Winstead's voice definitely does have that very 60s, almost Brigitte Bardot-esque lilt. I am obsessed with their single, Did We Live Too Fast? It has this really wonderful retro feel to it, and it's slightly surreal. I'm pretty sure it's gonna end up on the next Tarantino soundtrack. And the final album that I'm really excited about coming out next month is LESE MAJESTY, which is the latest record from Shabazz Palaces. Shabazz Palaces are an experimental hip-hop group from Seattle. They're kind of like the unsung heroes. They're actually kind of better than Odd Future, I think. I really like that first album, Black Up, which asked a lot of questions about race and identity in America. As well as being experimental, they're just extremely technically talented. My favorite rappers are always the ones who can use their voices like an instrument and kind of mold seamlessly into the beats while also posing really interesting questions, and the lead single from LESE MAJESTY, They Come in Gold, definitely does that. The album was actually called The Future of Hip Hop at its premiere, so if you guys want to know where hip-hop is going, you should probably check out this album. So those are the releases that I'm looking forward to for July. I hope that I've inspired you to maybe check some of them out, try a few different things. Be sure to let me know in the comments below what you're looking forward to for July. Also, let me know if you want me to do a review of any of these records when it comes out. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching. If you're not already and you would like to be sure to subscribe to my channel. You can also follow me on Twitter. I'm at catiewahwah for more regular updates, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! I think that one of the reasons why Lorde is resonating so strongly with this generation is because she is speaking with and to us.